Hi guys, this is a continuation of the screencast from 6.1. We're still working on graphing inequalities. That's still the overall goal, the overall concept, and we're still putting them on just number lines. So this is one variable inequalities. Okay? So when we go into graphing these ones, the verbal sentence with the inequality, we have to match this side with this side. Now, this term right here, quotient, would mean division. This term right here, product, would mean multiplication. This term right here, product, would mean multiplication. Remember, multiplication can be represented a few different ways. And it could even be like a little asterisk maybe, or something like that. Also, remember, product or multiplication is represented with a variable directly next to a number. So that should be a big giveaway. Quotient, there's only one over there that has a quotient. Make sure you pay attention to the sign greater than. Remember, the alligator wants to eat the bigger side. Or this is saying that this is larger because it wants to eat the bigger side, and over here it's saying that this is larger because it wants to eat the bigger side. Hopefully that helps, and hopefully you can figure out those three. When we jump into the actual inequalities and graphing them on a number line, what it is going to take to solve these is, once again, opposite operations. Same concept that happened on 6.1. So this is the big giveaway toward how to graph inequalities on a number line. So when I jump into this first one, m divided by 5 is greater than negative 5. Because the term attached to my variable is being divided, in order to get rid of that term, I have to multiply. So if I multiply by 5, then I'll have to do the same thing on the other side. And these ones will cancel, which leaves m, and that is going to be greater than negative 5 times 5 is negative 25. Okay? So at this point, we're ready to put on a number line. Because my number lines are open, I need to place some numbers on them. So let's go ahead and throw negative 25 right in the middle. That's pretty close to the middle. Then the bigger numbers would go negative 20, negative 15, negative 10, negative 5. My next one, if I jumped, would be 0. Going this way would be negative 30, negative 35, negative 40, negative 45. Okay? That's going to leave an open dot because this is not equal to on the negative 25. And because we need the larger numbers for our variable, m is greater than, that will shade this to the right. So here's our shading. And we're going to highlight that arrow saying this would go on forever and ever and ever. Now, when we go over and we look at number 7, number 7 has something different taking place. What is taking place on number 7 is that there is a negative number attached on the same side as my variable. So when we move this negative number, there's an extra step that happens. So right alongside here, if we move a negative number by multiplication or division, what happens is the inequality sign changes direction. Okay? So c divided by negative 10 is less than or equal to negative 2. How do I get rid of negative 10? Because it's being divided, I need to multiply. And what I do to the one side, I also will do to the other. So that allows that to cancel, leaving just my variable, which it was less than or equal to, but because of our new rule, if we move a negative number by multiplication like we did, or division like we might do down here, the inequality sign changes direction. It was a less than or equal to, now it's going to be a greater than or equal to, and negative 2 times negative 10 is positive 20. So positive 20 has to be placed on this number line. I'll go ahead and place that in the middle for you there. It's up to you for how to number it, and then make sure you get this graph properly. And that's your help I'm going to give you on this section. Okay? So let's talk about this next one, because this next one turns out in a special situation as well. 8 times n is greater than negative 1. So I have to get rid of the 8. In order to get rid of 8 and undo the multiplication, I will have to divide. What I do to one side, I also do to the other, so that cancels. It leaves n. Notice I divided by a positive number, so my sign stays the same direction to be greater than negative 1 over 8. Now this presents a problem because we have a fraction. That's why this number line is chopped up into lots of little sections. So negative 1/8 is real close to 0 and 1. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put 0 right in the middle. And then from there I'm going to count 8 spots. So it'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And that's where I'm going to put negative 1. And then I'll count 8 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I hope that was 8. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And here would be negative 2 when we're ready for that. And then we'd go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 would be positive 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 would be positive 2. And now you should be able to easily identify where the negative 1 part out of the negative 8 would go. It's going to be between here and here, and hopefully you can see that it's going to be closer to the 0 than the negative 1. So get that on their graph properly with the open circle and shaded to the right because it's a greater than situation. Alright, let's go ahead and jump to the bottom. Let's talk about our last issues. Alright, this one here is going to turn out in a fraction as well. That's why it's broken up into multiple parts. The bottom of your fraction is going to be 5. Hopefully that helps you as far as labeling and numbering goes and stuff like that. The verbal sentence here, product, we addressed up top is multiply. So 12 times y is greater than or equal to 60. And that's set up. Quotient of m, because quotient is divide, we have m divided by 2 is greater than 23. Should be able to figure that out. There is no special situation with moving a negative term, so your signs stay that same direction. Alright? You are in charge of purchasing helium balloons for a school carnival. You have been given $40 to buy the balloons. The balloons cost $1.60 each. Write and solve an inequality that gives a possible number of B balloons you can buy. So $1.60 each times however many you're going to buy. So let's let that variable be B, has got to stay less than or equal to the $40 you have to spend. The $40 has to be the largest possible amount for us to spend with $1.60 per balloon. So thanks for listening. Hopefully that helps with the assignment. Good luck on it, and please get it done.